We obviously moving forward, and I think we'll move forward pretty well as a team. The kids, I thought they played hard and all that, and we talked about that the other night. We got to execute a little better on a lot of things. There's enough in there. We had some missed assignments that we can't have on both sides of the ball for us to be as effective as we want. I thought up front, both sides of the ball, we played better. I think there's more in there that we'll get out of them. We went back to basics and the fundamentals, which we always do on a bye week because at times you lose a little bit of your individual technique work, as the season progresses because you do so much together. So that being said, I like the attitude of our football team. And we start the Big Ten season, and the expectation is always to win Big Ten championships. So I like how our kids frame and their mental, where they're at mentally.
I know you said earlier that Gardner's okay, but were there some anxious moments there when he went down, given the fact that he's mixed in pretty well with your receivers?
You can't afford to lose anybody. We've got a couple of our scout defensive linemen who've got some bumps and bruises that we hate to miss during practice. So you can't afford, at this point to miss anybody.
Do you think Devin will miss any kind of practice time or be limited?
I don't think so. Devin in his own way is pretty mentally tough, and I think he likes where he's gone to with that being a wideout.
When you look back at, what you guys have done so far and then look forward, what are you really focusing in on during the bye week?
Well, like I said, Larry, I think a lot of it's getting back to fundamentals, techniques, playing both sides, and I'm so ingrained in the fronts because of, my background, but, from footwork to hands to getting off blocks to finishing blocks and combinations and those things. I think, from a run game standpoint, making sure that we're doing a nice job with the footwork and all that kind of stuff.
Speaking of the fronts, it looked like you guys made some strides on Saturday up there. Were there positives to take away from a game like that?
Is that a trick question? But no, there's some things that obviously we did well, and I think, our defense obviously gave us a chance. I thought guys played really hard. When you watch the tape, there's white jerseys getting to the football, and that's a sign a little bit that we're playing a little faster. I thought in the back end, I had Thomas Gordon and Kovacs both did a nice job, and Ray Taylor, was getting better every day he goes out. So those are all positives, and I thought the four linebackers all did a nice job in there.
Denard apologized after the game to Michigan fans for his performance. Do you have to sit down and talk to him and ease his concerns for that game, or how do you deal with Denard after that?
Well, I think you deal with it like you do anybody. I think you make sure he understands that we took 69 guys to the game. We've got 115 on this football team. We're all responsible, coaches, players, everybody.
How concerned are you or were you about, that being a problem going forward, his turnovers?
Well, we don't want to turn the ball over. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. But I think, he's smart enough. He's competitive enough that he'll take a lot out of this game.
Was there a theme with those that you saw, with especially the three before the Hail Mary? I mean, was he doing something similar?
No, not really.
Was Notre Dame's defense doing anything to maybe disguise things, or?
No, not really.
Speaking of Notre Dame, at all disappointed that series is going to take at least a long break?
Well, they've got to do what's right for Notre Dame, and they feel, getting out of the rivalry. Obviously, we kind of enjoy and cherish the rivalry. There's, excuse me, so much history there. So, but we'll move forward.
With this
Does this open up an opportunity to maybe schedule some big primetime games that you guys could look forward to?
Well, I think, when you're Michigan and that ability is there because you're Michigan, I think that will probably open up some different scheduling.